We live.
Is you live? Okay, this is the real deal here, baby.
Look at that.
That picture, though.
Look at that background, though.
Picture's sick. Picture is sick.
That background.
Man. You get with that one, babe.
Thank you.
Killed that shit.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all. What's going on, y'all? Look at Miss BB. Oh, she dressed up. I ain't dressed up, y'all. Look, I got a do-rag on. Like, you know.
Not instead of saying, is you live? Reporting live.
Confirm your account on Spotify?
Huh? Dismiss that. That's I'm working on something.
I'm on Spotify, y'all. I'm just joking.
No, not yet.
Man, isn't it sick though, y'all? For real. Look at Miss BB and her gang. She acted a donkey with this one, y'all. Call her Eeyore. For real. Digging a background, like for real, like professional, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, no more is you live. We are reporting live.
Look, is she dressed up, y'all? Look, I'm all hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know. Like, dang, Miss B, you could have put on a little sign. Oh, it's coming. I could have put on like a bear sweater sign. But you know it's still polo. So, but don't worry about that, though.
I left all my blazers at work.
Oh, all you need is your pearls.
I know, right?
I know, like,
Such a
oh my God, clutch my pearls. Are you saying the F word?
Such a lady.
Did you just drop an F-bomb on this television station?
Did you curse?
Oh my God, we don't talk like this on TV.
We need that swear job.
Mr.
Wait,
Jackson.
give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Yes. Oh! I declare. And you know what it is, baby. 4K, yeah, baby. That's what it is, and that's what we do. I was trying to get this thing working, and Miss BB brought up a valid point. She told me today my job was to get the video camera back going, so we're back in 4K. So we got to look up there, not down there.
Yes.
Got to work on that. So forgive us because we're so used to looking down, we start looking up.
Yes.
But I'm coming to y'all.
I'm going to start holding my papers in front of my hand.
Right. Oh, man. She's stunning. Stunning. She put on her lips for y'all tonight, y'all. Look. Ooh. Hey, girl.
How you doing? No.
Yeah, do your Wendy Williams.
How you doing?
I love it. 108 people. I gang my... When you see me, you say gang. When you see me, you say gang.
Look.
Gang, there it is, gang.
Sammy D, no more is we live.
No. Reporting live from...
Reporting live.
The Live Action Studio.
Get my Bougetto on.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what that means, bougie.
But I ain't seen enough gang in here. If you see me, you say gang.
Let me see.
If you see me, you say gang.
Let me see.
When you see a gang member, you salute.
Oh,
gang.
Test. That's the test right now. You see?
See a gang member, you salute.
Oh, Lord. Don't
yes.
Don't be saying that.
Man, gang. That's my gang. Man, she got us in here looking kind of classy. For real.
We in that high rise.
Like, did we upgrade the studio?
But we're moving on up. No. We like Georgie and Weezy.
Even Daisy got a little bow tie on. Y'all can't see her. She like over here like she getting served. Gang. Y'all, man, thank you guys. Yeah, Miss BB, man, for real.
About to give an interview, Sammy D.
Yeah, man. Y'all ready to hear some beautiful sounds? Some sounds that's gonna so melodiously enter your eardrum that's gonna give you an orgasmic experience to your soul about the IQD and about currency as a whole.
I'm gonna be like Gail King when she interviewed R. Kelly.
Am I gonna start shaking? I'm not mad.
What did he say? I'm an older man that love all women.
And on that note, gang, we having some fun, man. We laughing. I'm gonna play this melodious music, man, because it's just. Ow! Tell our neighbors in CNN they can kiss my. Ow! Nah, Black Sparrow, don't worry. We gonna change up the backgrounds, man, because you know what? There's levels to this. We at the top of the pinnacle right now, baby. We looking down. You got to look around your surroundings, baby. Good job on the background.
We need
I'm loving my view in my corner office. Mama, you said I wasn't gonna be much, but I'm looking around. Ooh. Yeah, I should have worn a tux. I should go change for real. I feel really understated. I do, y'all. I'm sorry.
I tried to get you. Come on in.
Man, I'm sorry.
You over there designing shirts.
Yeah, I made some new IQD shirts. Y'all, I was so sick of y'all asking me about the security measures on IQD. I made a shirt with all the security measures on IQD on a shirt. And on the back of it says, "Friends don't let friends buy fake IQD or BND. Sincerely, Mr. Brando and Miss April Beatty." Man, welcome. Welcome, welcome. You're far too kind. Woo! Can I just say, can everybody right now, like, please give Miss BB a hand, a thumbs up? For real, y'all. Y'all just don't know the crap this woman goes through.
We need a typewriter going in the background. Old school. Mary Tyler Moore type.
Yeah, like, I really want someone to come in with some coffee and be like, "Here, Mr. Brando, here's your coffee. Are you ready for the news, sir?" I'm like, "I'm ready." I was born ready.
Keep it classy, San Diego.
You guys, man, it's hard work doing this, really. Y'all think it's... I'm just telling y'all this from somebody who had no clue or understanding of how social media on this type of thing works. Miss BB, man, has really given me an education this last year, man, and showing to y'all in 4K with this sound, man, I'm really digging it. I'm really digging the vibe right now. But, of course, y'all got to know. Oh.
What happened?
I sent too much to George.
George?
Yeah, Seawall.
Oh, okay.
I sent too much. Now, let's talk about Iraq. Oh, no. Excuse me. Will you please introduce yourself?
I am April BB.
I don't know if I should yell in the new studio because, like, we're in an office now.
You shouldn't.
I should, like, really be, like, classy.
You should be like Walter Cronkite. What's it?
Walter Cronkite.
What is his name?
Cronkite. Walter Cronkite. He was a very famous, like, reporter, I think, on CBS.
Or Dan Rather.
Dan Rather. Oh, man, I could be Dan Rather.
How about that?
I am Mr. Brando, and welcome to the status.
60 Minutes.
No, you can't. That's copyright infringement. We are the status of the reinstatement of the Iraqi Dinar IQD chat and world news.
59 minutes.
59 minutes and 59 seconds.
There you go.
Now, you guys, yeah, Teespring, yeah, I got the new shirt out there. So if you want to see the new shirt, it's kind of funky. I did something, a little play on the IQD. It's got all the safety measures on it, so you can wear it as a shirt, so you can remind each other. And it's also kind of a middle finger to all the people that doubt us on this. It's like our own subculture. I believe in culture. I believe in culture as a whole. I think that we as a subculture will become the new culture here in a little bit. And the people that laughed at the .coms, the people that laughed at the IBMs, the Apples, I believe those people are dinosaurs, and I believe that the new persons that are going to inherit the earth are the currency exchange people. Now, call me what you would, but I would actually say this. I think that we're not far off from something generally happening. I told you guys yesterday that the Cabinet Grand National Investment Commission to the powers of the United Nations, I still don't know what that means. Now, the amnesty, Iranian lethal, we know now, we're pretty darn sure that those projectiles that came out that hurt those citizens were from Iran. Okay, so we're pretty sure right now that Iran is responsible for the projectiles that came out. A security force said on Friday, November 8th, forces take strict measures in the center of Baghdad before Friday prayer. The source said that security forces took strict security measures in the center of Baghdad before Friday prayer adding security situation above the bridges of the Dominican Republic and the Turkish restaurant. Today, if you guys hadn't heard, something terrible happened. They launched they had a missile attack in Iraq, and they didn't report, as of a few moments, any casualties. So I just pray that, the people that are there protecting us, that are at the embassy, that are in it to win it, for us, are provided with enough security around them, and that they're safe. So they want the Congress, our U.S. Congress, is asking for the Iraqi government to hold accountable the killers of the protesters and restore the internet. I told you guys, and I keep telling you guys, if they don't do something about this internet, the internet and the projectiles are bad news for us. I don't like them out there hurting protesters, but I darn sure don't like them out there not using those projectiles. There's no need for it. If it's peaceful protest, now I can get it. If they're out there causing harm, just like I think there's security people that are out there causing harm, like killing the protesters, I think there are protesters that are from Iran that are out there causing mischief. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, imagine something major happening in LA or New York or Chicago, Houston. There's going to be people out there that are generally out there for the cause, and then there are going to be people that are generally out there for the come up. You know what I'm saying? And so they're going to be out there doing things that are bad. And I think that's what's going on right now, is a lot of the things that are going on out there right now are just bad. They're losing major monies every day that the internet's not constant, because they can't move, you can't secure, you can't do things as far as business and banking is concerned if you don't have a stable and reliable internet. Even though banking hours are from, like, let's say, I'm going to use the number from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., money never sleeps. So moving money from bank to bank is never going to stop, right?
Right.
So even though your banking hours are one thing, the internet allows you to conduct banking measures and conduct fiscal policy that you're usually not able to do because your internet's off, right? So it's got to be disruptive. It's got to be very hurtful. It's costing them $16 million a day, basically, for their internet to be off.
How much?
$16 million a day. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot of money.
That's a lot to me.
Yeah, to a country that your dollar is worth really $1,170. You see what I'm saying? You guys don't understand. The sum total of this is that pretty soon you run out of money if you don't reinstate your currency to a nominal value. It has to have a nominal value, okay? They have to create the budget, and it has to be controlled, and it has to be accurate, and it has to not be with a bunch of fluff. And now the people, the political system can't steal, right?
Right.
Now the banking system has to be honest. They have to use money to open up that enterprise, whether it be small and medium enterprise, the private sector. If I was Iraq and I was looking at this from a business standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. And it was my own business, and now I've got oil, which accounts for about 65% of my total income, I would have to diversify my income. So before I would think reinstatement, do you know what I would actually think of? I would think private sector. Because if I had private sector activity, then I would actually have some subsidy to my income, because we all know the auctions have to stop after a while. Does that make sense? The auctions can't continue forever. So I don't care what anybody says. They can continue for a little while, but the auctions have to stop. Like, that has to happen. Like, that's a no-brainer. So if I'm Iraq, then I've got to launch the private sector. What, you're working on keeping your chin up?
Isn't that one of the linchpins?
I don't know about linchpins. I don't know about destructive pins. I only know this. If you stop the auctions, you have to have a private sector. If you have a viable private sector that adds to your GDP at that point, then you actually have a nominal value to your currency because you have free capital flow. End of story. I'm not a genius. I'm not a smart person in a lot of ways, but I can tell you this. I understand ebb and flow, and I understand how basic economics and business works, as well as geopolitics to a certain degree. I've never claimed to be an expert, but I have a general understanding, and I know that to have those things is to have a working economy. If you have viable trade and you don't have a trade deficit and you're working upon balances, then you're going to succeed. So that's why it's so important that they keep the trade lines open, right? And to do that, Iraq's got to understand, they're pissing the investors off by how they're treating the citizens. That's the main thing people aren't even talking about. Forget everything else. If you're an investor in Iraq right now, guys, think about it. And you see the way they're treating their citizens, are you going to invest in Iraq? Mm-mm. No, you're going to look at them as some ragtag BS, crap. Like, you're going to say, dude, this is not good. What you guys are doing is not good. And you're going to want them to fix that and fix it expeditiously. Right?
Right.
And I think that that's what they're trying to do. Now, Iraq's in one of those unique situations that you can sit there and say, well, what are they going to do? Well, you see they're going to amend their constitution. You see that they're going to do certain things. What are they going to do that's self-sustaining? Those are the package of reforms that we have to see come out. And until you see that package of reforms come out, you don't really know what they're going to do. Now, I will say this. I know they're going to do what they have to do because they don't have a choice. The Iraqi parliament, as you see it today, will change. It will probably change over the next 90 to 120 days. And you will also start to think that the economy is going to start reshaping itself based upon this reform package. That's why the 2020 budget, and I'm not a budget guy. Like, I'm not one of those guys that say, oh, it's in the budget, it's in the budget. But this time it could be in the budget. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that for a reason because you have to allocate those funds to those different entities. Because you can't hide it now. Like, you can't sneak it in there like, well, we're going to put it here on the sly under this bill or that bill. No, the protesters want to see this done, that done, HCL, Article 140. You've got to account for the Kurds in the budget. You've got allocations now that have to go out, right? Like, You can't hide it. So don't you kind of think by them saying we're going to get this budget done, that something has to be in the budget to be a telltale sign that something's about to happen? Todd said, I bought my wife a bling Judith Libya purse. Todd.
What's that?
Todds Fancy. We don't know what
fancy. That is. I don't know what that is. I'm basic.
Is it polo? Todds Fancy, man. I love Todd. Todd does all our artwork. Y'all don't know.
I'm an Old Navy girl.
Is that dress Old Navy?
It is. Go ahead, babe.
Get that 2020 budget out. Get it to work. What's going on with the budget? Everybody wants to know what's going on with the budget. What's in the budget? It's kind of like, remember Seven Signs with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman? What's in the box? What's in the box? That's the way I look at this. What's in that budget, man? That budget is a tell.
Daisy.
It's not like the most telling thing that I've ever... I just want to know what's in the budget. Just like I want to know what's behind these large institutional buys as a whole. I don't care if it's something stupid. I just want to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Michael. Hey, Mother of 12. Shout out to everybody. So, in light of what we have going on, I thought it'd be befitting that we sit back and say to ourselves, what do we know, right? We know that change is happening. We know they're going to amend the Constitution within 4 months, possibly in 2 months. They said 2 months, right? They said they could get it done. If they can move at that light speed, they could make a great change within those 2 months. I'm not trying to get anybody excited. I'm not trying to poke the bear, so to speak. But I mean, if you were going to think of it in relative terms, you could have a rate change before the end of the year, basically, which is almost 2 months. So Ms. BB would kind of be right. It would be 2020, but I mean, at least then I could say, man, that would be huge.
If they told you in 2020, right?
Man. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist, guys. I'm saying now, between now and then. Yeah, their bills are due. They got everything due. Everything's coming to a head. You got your machinery due, technology's due, fiscal year's ending, oil's dropping, budget's due. They're calling for your heads. There's revolution going on in your country. At what point, Iraq, do you sit back and say, I'm in a position of help or hurt? Mm-hmm. At some point, you got to say to yourself, I don't know where to stop the bleeding from, because they're bleeding profusely. They're bleeding money. Turning off the internet, it's cost them $16 million a day. They're doing this, it's costing them money. They don't have ports open. The roads aren't open for people to go to jobs, commerce isn't happening. It costs them money. Money's being lost right now to the tune of millions in Iraq. The bloodshed is one thing. I get that, and I apologize for that. And God bless those people. But the money they're losing on top of the bloodshed makes this basically, like someone told me earlier, mental masturbation. This is stupid. What are we trying to accomplish here? What are we really trying to do, Iraq? And I don't think it's a negative statement what I'm saying right now. I'm saying to you is that finally, if there was ever a time that you would look up and say, you know what? I'm ready to do right. Like, I'm ready to step up to the forefront, get this done. The WTO is coming. We got that this month. We got other things happening this month. We got Siemens coming in. We got machinery. Let's step up to the plate and get things done. I think now is the time that things could actually happen. Yeah, the WTO deadline is at the end of this month. I think you got to understand that where you're at, and there's, I don't like talking in terms of, well, there's post, pre, there's this, that, and the other. No, there's just the glorious present, right? Like where we are is where we are. I'm gonna live for the moment, which is the time frame that I'm reporting or trying to report on. And besides those things, guys, there's not a lot of news, but I'm not gonna hang up. I'm not gonna create this as a negative thing. We're gonna create this as a super positive thing, and I'm gonna take time to ask questions again because I think there's not enough questions asked. Someone asked me about 2% compliance that Caprioni was talking about. I don't believe in that 2% compliance because, and I do in some ways because currency can't fluctuate no more than about 10% on Forex. So you can't be, at that 2% compliance, you're still compliant by Forex market, but you got to understand this. How are you compliant to a currency that's artificially suppressed by your auctions? Why do you have to be compliant by something you're artificially suppressing? So when people ask me about the 2% compliance, I argue it back with them. How are you going to make it compliant against a rate that's artificially suppressed? You're well within the bounds because of your foreign currency holdings as well as your gold holdings. They told you they hold enough currency now that they actually are internationally standardized as far as their banking is concerned. So what does that 2% now really mean? I don't think people really look at the deeper meaning. They just hear the punchline and they're like, wow, that sounds smart. That guy sounds smart. Well, you're not smart. You're actually an idiot because you're talking about an artificially suppressed rate, but they just told you a couple months ago that they have enough foreign currency reserves that they're actually internationally standardized, which they haven't been since I've been inside this investment. So what does that 2% mean if you're internationally standardized as far as the country goes? It's kind of like the currency argument. They're going to come out with a new $25,000 note. Well, why would you base your whole argument on that on they're dropping the 3 zeros? You can't have it both ways. Gold standard, lob. You can't have it both ways. You got to look at it from a pragmatic point of view. You got to pick your poison. Yeah, no construction's happened yet to that what you're talking about, Robert G., but contracts have been signed. That's what Donna talked about last conversation. Yeah, it's not that. It's how they're going to pay them. You can't not pay these people. They're not like these government contractors that you have on your payroll with the state. They're not going to take a 3-month leave. You can't tell Exxon, hold on, I'll pay you when I get ready. Or Siemens. Or GE. They're going to be like, no, I want my money up front because you don't have the credit rating to substantiate holding off your bills.
Right.
I don't know if y'all ever remember this. Early on when we first started doing this, me and Miss BB, I taught you guys about business credit, right? I taught you about country credit, really, what I taught you about. And what I told you guys is that if they didn't come out with a B minus rating, they were going to be in a lot of trouble. Well, in some avenues, they did get B minuses ratings. But you know what that gets you in net terms with other countries? 30-day terms. It doesn't get you like 6 months to pay for something. Meaning, if I delivered a product to you, right? Mm-hmm. I want my money in 30 days.
That wouldn't get you lesser terms? So, if you're a B rating, right? Mm-hmm. I would think if you're an A rating, you get 30. And then...
A rating is probably net 90. Net 90. I would say net 90. Because you trust that they're solvent. You trust you're going to get your money. Bumps happen. But a B rating, 30. C rating, 15.
That's what I was thinking more like. Because I don't trust you with my bread.
Well, they don't trust them with their bread because they're demanding terms. Think about it. Partnerships in business are only as strong as the ground that they stand.
Right.
So if I don't trust you to pay your bill, and you know you don't trust me to pay my bill, you give me terms, right? I'll borrow money from you, but you got to pay me back in 5 days. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I trust you to loan you the money, but I don't trust you to pay me back when you say you're going to pay me back. You got to pay me back in 5 days. And that's what Iraq is telling. That's what people are telling Iraq as far as these big businesses are going out there saying. Already 1 thumbs down. Right on. Hater. Keep watching.
The hate on the test video, it's all good.
I know, right? I'm going to ask a question. If you hate on everything, is there anything you love? I'll ask you guys, man, are there any questions out there? How could they possibly afford to wait any time past this weekend?
They want to see Daisy.
I'm not holding Daisy.
And the other background will come back from time to time. We haven't retired it.
Mark, that's a great question. They can't afford to hold out much longer. You're going to physically run out of currency. I mean, you're going to... Okay, listen. It's kind of like this. You've got hemorrhaging going on. You got bleeding happening. You got to stop the bleeding. Pimpy, the shirt's on Teespring. Some people were frowning at our joke that me and Pimpy came up with. He came up with this morning for me for Disney Dinar.
And actually, they're saying that you can't find Disney Dinar shirt out there. I told you. I warned you.
I ordered one. I hope I get it.
They can't see it. Susan said it's not out there.
Boo-hoo. Can you see the Dinar shirt with the safety measures on it? Gang, loving the fresh new look. Background season. Oh, thanks, Augustus. Jefferson the Fourth. Napoleon. Daisy Gang. Are there only two types of capital gains, long-term and short-term? Yes. Heard on radio today from a financial advisor that capital gains was at 15%. Isn't that short-term capital gains is 15%?
Ooh, I can't remember the rates.
One's 15 and one's 20.
Short-term is a higher rate, right? So that would be 20.
No, short-term is a lower rate.
No,
you're right. Short-term is a higher rate. It's like 20 or 25%.
Right.
Short-term is 10 or 15%.
Let me say this.
That's right. You're right.
When I was doing my crypto thing, right, I had the chance to cash in, but I was scared of what I was going to be charged. So I kept it because I only owned it less than 30 days. When I first jumped in, I started making money right away. So I said, oh, well, let me hold on to it. So short term, you are charged more.
Right.
Long term is greater than 1 year, and you're charged less. And I posted the rates a long time ago, but I can't quite remember now. Because then you have capital gains, and that's different too.
It all goes by your current, what do you call that?
Tax rate.
Short-term capital gains tax is a tax on profits from the sale of assets held for 1 year or less. Long-term capital gains tax is a tax on profits from sales of an asset held for more than a year. It has to be a year and a day, okay? A year and a day. Long-term capital gains taxes are anywhere from 0, 15, 20%, depending on your taxable income and filing status.
Correct. It's all based on your filing status.
It's all on your filing status, kids. You're not going to avoid taxes. So all you untaxable event people, I can show you how you can limit your tax exposure, but avoiding it is kind of like saying you're playing with Russian roulette. You're trying to tempt Johnny Law. I don't tempt Johnny Law. I pay Johnny Law because I can afford to pay him at that point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I'm not fooling with the IRS. There are certain three-letter agencies I just won't fool with. IRS, FBI, CIA, NSA, and I don't care about any of them. But if I can avoid them...
I'm a tax nerd. So I like to plan,
Hold on.
I'll let y'all talk. I was going to say something.
Go ahead, babe.
Hold on. I'm going to be long-winded.
Hold on. Security, hold on. Hold this person at the door real quick. Go ahead, Miss BB.
I was going to say, sometimes, and I like playing with numbers, and that's why I said I'm kind of a nerd. I'll sit still, and I'm tired of paying the IRS taxes. So I sat still, and I wanted to look at, okay, what if I maxed out my retirement account? So I have like most jobs, they offer a 401k, right? Mm-hmm. And I never really max it out. So I decided to sit still and think about maxing it out. Well, I'm not going to max it out this year, but I'm going to lessen my tax burden because I'm throwing more money into it the last 2 months of this year because I'm tired of paying Uncle Sam more money. next year I want to max it out. Now it's hard to get there because it's a lot of money.
Isn't it like $7,500?
No.
What's maxing it out? Like,
so if your job offers a 401k or a 403b, right now I think the maximum amount you can put in is $19,000. Right, that's a lot of money, right?
That's a lot of bread.
But take your tax rate, right? Let's say your tax rate is 20%. Okay?
Conservatively speaking.
Times that by the $19,000 you would put in there.
$4,000 basically.
That's what you don't get to have to pay the IRS today. If you do that.
It's kind of a bad deal though.
Why is it a bad deal?
Because if I took that money, that $400.
No, $4,000.
$4,000. I'll give you an example.
So wait. So think about this, okay?
Okay.
You put $19,000 in your retirement account today.
Right.
Right? That's your money.
Right.
If you hit somebody, kill somebody like OJ,
right.
Nobody can touch it.
Right.
Okay? $19,000.
I got you.
That's $4,000 you don't have to pay Uncle Sam today.
Okay. Can I say
So what you're saying is we need to kill people is what you're trying to say.
No. I'm not saying that.
No.
What I'm saying is, let's say you normally get withheld $10,000 a year out of your paycheck. You're able to keep $4,000 of that $10,000 by creating a tax shelter, a tax retirement. Now, the caveat to that is you've got to put away the $19,000 in your retirement.
Okay.
But it's your money.
Okay. So here's my thought on that. If I could save $20,000, just say $20,000.
I got you.
Why don't I take $1,000, go incorporate my name? Okay, I'm just saying, if I can save that, and why don't I save up the rest of that money for the year? And
you're working for a corporation already. I'm talking about right now. We're not talking about IQD money.
No, I'm not
talking about setting up a corporation.
I'm not buying a piece of rental property.
No.
Why don't I buy a piece of property with that and use that as a tax haven?
Yeah, but that's a reinvestment, so that's a tax write-off.
Exactly. Why would I do that instead of putting in a retirement fund? And then I can write off the depreciation, and I can write off what I put down.
Or you can open up 2 corporations, right? And
I'm asking. No. Hold on, Pippi. I'm not trying to cut you off because you're making a valid point. But I'm asking, why would you not do one or the other for you?
Number one.
Because you're an accountant. I'm not an accountant.
Number one, you're working for a corporation already. Okay? Mm-hmm. When they issue you your W-2, you are going to be taxed on it. It's going to filter through regardless. So, I'm talking about a W-2 check. You can't get around that. A W-2 check. But
what I'll get back in taxes from the corporation won't cover that W-2 check times 2?
No. What's going to happen is they're going to say you made
$100,000.
Right. Okay. $100,000.
Right.
They send that without your
working knowledge.
Right. They send that to the IRS.
That's going that to no matter
Security.
What. Right.
They say you made $100,000.
Right.
Now, how can you manipulate that instantly without buying real estate, without a LLC or anything else? And let's say you don't have the credit. Okay. Let's say you don't have the great FICA score. You don't have the legal team or the all to set up an LLC right now. Okay.
Can I say this though? If I made $100,000, don't you think I can kind of possess those things?
There's a lot of people that don't have the credit to do it. Because guess what? Credit ain't all what it used to be either. You can have
credit ain't bad.
And you can have a 700 FICO score and still not qualify for a house. You want to know why?
Why? Debt to income?
Right. You live in California and you want a 1-bedroom condo. And it's $300,000, right? Mm-hmm. You got taxes and everything else. You got student loans to get the job that you're in. They're like, oh, well, I'm sorry. You got this debt to income ratio. You don't qualify.
Yep.
So you're screwed.
But, Ms. April, answer this question.
Go ahead.
Is it possible for an individual to open up 2 Nevada corporations because there's total anonymity, either in Ireland or, wherever you want to do it? So let's just say Nevada, because Nevada, when you do your corporations as total anonymity. So what you do is you buy things with one corporation, right? Lease them to the other. Then your second one has a tax write-off, and you can write that off against your expenses that you do with your main corporation. So the income that you earn could be a tax write-off against the second corporation.
Is that legal?
It is.
That still doesn't stop what's sent to the IRS and the Social Security
No,
office.
it's not.
No, not stopping, offsetting.
It reduces
Offsetting.
the amount that you pay.
So, no, it's not going to... Listen, I'm with you. I don't want to pay taxes, but I'm going to pay taxes.
Right.
So what I want to do is I want to pay tax dollars to get my tax dollars back through an enterprise.
So how much does that cost to set that up?
Well, we're talking $20,000. That's all we got. We got $20,000. That's all we got.
So that's what I'm saying. So you still are going to be out of pocket something.
Use a real example so people can understand. Let's pretend like I have my two corporations. We'll call them A and B. So let's say A buys a house, right? And it leases it out to B. The same people, they don't know it's a Nevada corporation. So what happens is I have capital gains from my leasing to B. But from B, I have a tax write-off because it's a business.
Mary says it.
You see what I'm saying?
Hold on. Mary says it because Mary owns basically an insurance company. She owns a couple of them. And Mary says Miss April Beebe is right. You have to keep your debt very much below 40% to do what me and Pimpy are talking about doing.
Right.
So you got to think, if you can make $100,000 with student loans, having a condo in California, not saying Texas, in California, you could probably overload yourself with debt. So
and let me say,
and being realistically, you probably going to be.
Look, if we're talking about, is this after the dinar hits?
No. No. This is real life, everyday living.
Right now.
Okay,
right now.
My bad.
And let me say,
after the dinar.
Let me say this. It was harder for me to buy a house in Texas than California. And my credit score was higher, but because of the state of the economy and what had happened in the past to the real estate market, they went over everything with a fine-tooth comb. Everything.
Yeah, it was a little different.
So,
first of all, I like you guys' background, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And Mary's right. Income's different. Income's different than capital for a company.
Yeah.
They're two different things.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I mean, there's programs out there to buy a house and everything, but, I mean, when I bought a house here in Texas, they wanted me to pay, and this is with a good credit score, they wanted me to pay off my car loan. Like, I had to have, I had 0 credit card debts, right? I had 1 student loan and my car. And they said, oh, and like I said, almost darn near 800 credit score. They're like, well, you better pay off that car. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And they're like, yeah, pay that car off.
And the reason why we talk about these strategies, guys, because when you get this money, it actually becomes income. It's not like working capital for your company at first. Now, I'll show you how to make a tax haven in a different avenue, but you're going to pay taxes on income no matter what.
Well, I bring this up because I'll be honest with y'all. I get tired of paying taxes, right? So I sit there and I'm a number cruncher. I'm a nerd. And I was just sitting there a month ago and I was like, okay, the year is closing out. And I'm like, what can I do differently? Because I'm tired of giving Uncle Sam all this money.
But now's the time to think about it. I think it's right. For those of you who are invested in a dinar or the dong, if you're not already researching, planning, then you're way behind. You should be doing this before you get the money, which brings me to this question. And I think Miss April might be able to answer this. You both were talking about long-term, short-term capital gain. And in both situations, it's when you take an asset and you sell it, right?
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with the dinar or the dong, you're not selling an asset. You're exchanging straight across. It's not a sell at all. It's an exchange.
No, it's not a sale. Technically, it's not. But when you receive it, it is a sale because it becomes why? Hold on.
When you guys go to your exchange, right? Let's say you're flying from San Francisco. They have in there the different currency exchanges. So if I'm going into Iraq or whatever, I tell them I need that country's currency. They exchange you equal value for equal value. I'm not selling an asset. I'm exchanging an asset. So that was what was confusing to me. I was like, well, wait a minute. Technically, long-term, short-term gains are based on the sale of something. I'm not selling the currency. I'm exchanging for what the currency rate is, and that's a current currency range. Now, if I'm in the midair, and all of a sudden something happens to one of the currencies that I'm hoping, that's not a sale of the currency. I'm still coming back and exchanging it for whatever that rate is. Does that make sense? I guess that's...
It does. No, I mean, honestly, we're arguing things that I can't prove at that point. So let me answer the questions that we have right now. Okay, Pimp? Why?
No, but didn't that cross your guys' mind? I was wondering about that. If somebody can answer that damn question, I'm curious. Because
it's a great question.
Short-term, long-term gains, capital gains, are from the sales of assets.
Not
selling an asset.
Hold on. I'll call Kitty. We looked it up. April researched it before. I'll call Kitty this week, and I'll see if she'll do a show about that, because my tax accountant can explain it better than I can and why you need to do certain things. And I'll call her. I'll get an explanation for you. But let me get to these real questions.
I am curious about that.
Okay.
Because,
let me get, Pimpe, let me get to the questions. Why is the WTO important? The WTO is important for two reasons. One, it establishes trade for Iraq, which they don't have right now, beyond what they're setting up. Number two, to be a part of the WTO, you have to have a recognizable currency on an international plane.
An internationally recognized currency, yes.
That's it. Okay. Not
only that, you have to have a valuable, workable currency. So, yeah.
You don't have to have valuable currency. That's not true. I'll tell you why. Look at Vietnam. Vietnam's a part of the WTO. They don't have a valuable currency. They have the worst currency in the world. So, they don't. I mean, it's garbage. But I
didn't mean like value.
I know what you're saying.
A lot of money.
It holds a nominal value.
You're able to exchange one currency for another.
I know what you mean.
On the open market. That's what I mean.
Nominal value and what real value is not the same thing. Understand that. What you buy a currency and sell a currency for or trade it for is not what it's really worth. It's like gold or silver. It really is. Currency is much like a commodity, not like an asset in some ways. Anyway, has the construction started yet? Yes, construction started. But has the construction started that we want to see as far as industrialized stuff, as petrochemical and stuff like that? No, it has not started yet. How could they possibly afford to wait? They can't.
In my opinion, they should have done this at the beginning of the summer. I thought they were going to do reconstruction and start then. The fact that we're past the summer now and going into fall is mind-boggling to me. But
do you know why? Do you know why though, Pimpe?
I think it has to do with the budget. I might be
No,
wrong.
I'll tell you why. It has everything to do with the weather.
Oh, yeah, their summer's different than ours, isn't that right?
Yeah, their summer's so hot, they couldn't protest. Think about it. Think about it. If I was going to protest in Iraq, I wouldn't protest in the summer. No one would come outside. It would mean nothing. I'd burn up. I'd die. But now that it's cooler out, they can stay out there all night long. They can stay out there until it needs to get done. They're forcing Iraq within a timeline as far as spring comes.
Now, I did hear a rumor, and I want to run this past you because you'll know this better than I will. Did a bombing of our military base take place today?
Yes.
From Iran?
I don't know. I would say yes, but I don't know.
I heard in Iraq, our military base was bombed from Iran. Or it was near the base is what it was.
Yeah, it was near the base. They were talking about loss of life or injuries, and I did not see it, so I don't know.
So, look, we talk about the good, we talk about the bad, but just in my opinion, this is, the more we go down this line, it's not good for us. I like the protesters protesting. I like them wanting to get rid of the corruption. I don't have a problem with that because these are immediate fixes. But when we start talking about Iran doing stupid crap like this, we start getting to a possible civil war, this is a delay to me. That's what I see, and that's what we don't want to happen.
I'll put it to you like this. Iran is going to be as disruptive as Iran has always been because they are Iran.
Yeah, I agree.
Iran is not going to stop being Iran. It's like that story about the snake on the mountain. It's you pick the snake up, you walk it down the mountain, and it bites you. Well, what'd you expect? I'm a snake. Iran's Iran. Okay?
Scorpion and the frog.
That's not the problem. How you stop Iran is you stop them fiscally. You stop buying their products.
Yeah.
You change the election laws. And all of a sudden
We do need them out of Iraq, though.
Well, hold on. You change the election laws. You starve out the militias because you're not paying for their goods. And you force them out of country. The only way to truly hurt someone, if you want to do it as far as a country's concerned, is in their pockets. Because Iran, for all their greatness and whatever they want to say about themselves, they're broke. Now, what they're running...
They are hurting bad.
What they're running on is religion. Hold on.
Every now and then the videos sneak out.
They're running on religion, and you can't eat religion. Okay?
No, I don't know a lot of people that's gotten fat off religion.
You can't eat religion. So, I mean, over time...
How's it going?
Oh, okay.
Well, there's a
Paint mixture, I'm going to keep vaping till the day I don't want to keep vaping. Damn straight. I do what I want to do.
Wait.
Well, I care, and I wish you would slow down, though. You know, I know it's your business, but there's so many things going on with vaping. I worry about you, that's for sure.
I ain't worried. If Iraq ain't killed me, vaping ain't. Mr.
I
B.
know, after all these years, seriously. My bad. Go back.
Hey, I survived. You know what I survived? I survived the whole... I was smoking menthols. If I survived the menthol pack era, I can survive this. Okay? Mr. B.
Don't lie. What was it?
What was my brand?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you know I'm bougie. Benson's and Edges. I smoke Benson's and Edges.
Benson and
Why is that
Edges?
like that's old school stuff?
No, I got Edges.
Oh my God.
Do you know why, though? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you guys this story real fast.
No, my mom smoked them. She used to say, cigarettes taste like crap, but Benson and Hedges got flavor.
Yes! And this old dude I knew smoked them that I looked up to him. He was a very successful guy, right? And he smoked them. And one day he was like, have one of these, young cat. And I tried it. I wasn't really a smoker. And that's how I got into smoking. I really found pleasure in smoking. I think smoking is one of the simplest things in life that you can enjoy. It says,
I had it for a brief moment. Well, I won't say moment, for a couple of years. Swiss or Sweets, the cigars.
Yeah, because they're sweet.
The flavor is so good.
It says, Mr. B, do you think the WTO is actually going to get passed when they go to Iraq? What?
Do you act when they go
to
Iraq?
Do I do a pass?
Well, actually, it's going to get passed when they go to Iraq.
Yes. And I'll tell you why. Because they're not screwed up as far as infrastructure is concerned.
And that's
they're screwed up. They're screwed up as far as government's concerned. But they're not. Everything is still in working order. Don't let all the smoke and mirrors and protests stop you from believing the cabinet's filled. Everybody's sitting in position. Everything is done. I really believe that the real smoke and mirrors is the proxy position. What happened to Alak? Why are we not talking about Alak getting his ass out of there and Alawi getting his ass in there? That's what people aren't talking about.
Now, in my opinion on the WTO situation is it's more like this. Look, the U.S. has done everything they could to expedite getting Iraq through the WTO. They do want them on the world stage, just like why China wants to make Iraq the Silk Road Mecca. The same thing with America. So even though all these things are happening, I can't imagine, unless something really, really dramatic happens, that's not going to stop the WTO process. In fact, they're just going to do what they can to speed it up.
And Pimpe, let me give you the example right there. Someone just asked the question, what happens if Iraq misses the WTO deadline? Then guess what? They pick up a much greater trade agreement, which is the Silk Road, and life continues on. That's reality. The Silk Road is a way greater avenue for income than the WTO. The reason why we want to see the WTO is because it forces an international recognized currency. That's the only reason.
I have a theory on this. I have a feeling that even though they go through the WTO, I have a feeling you're going to see a green light that allows them to be part of the Silk Road Initiative. And
they already are. No, they already are, Pimpe. They've signed agreements. They're done. That's already been done. They are a part of the Silk Road Agreement. It's done.
So people keep having this misunderstanding that it's just the BRIC people. I go, no, it's not. The U.S. is part of it. You just don't hear about it that much. Okay?
The U.S. is a supporter of the Silk Road Initiative. They're a major contributor.
Isn't that funny that nobody ever talks about this? That the U.S. is part of this. Now, they stand on the outside looking in. and China is running the spear, or the, what do you want to call it, the spearhead on this, but...
They're the tip of the spear, yeah.
Yeah. But, look, there's a lot of things that happen in the Silk Road that there was a green light that would not have happened without the U.S. saying, yeah, it's okay. It's just not going to happen. But it's going forward. It's going to be a major trade route. It really is.
It is. It's the hub of the European nations.
Hang on. Opinion. I'm going to share an opinion with you.
Where is...
My opinion on Iraq. Real quick, my opinion on Iraq. When the dust settles and people stop acting like children and there's no more protest and they get the damn corruption out of there and they get back where they need to be, in my opinion, I believe that the Iraq currency will easily be the most valuable currency out there, period. Now, when me and Mr. B talked about this, I said, look,
facts.
When
facts.
I said this, if hopefully you have enough to have where you can cash some in and hold on to the rest. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, look, make your life happy, make it comfortable. Some of you guys got enough to where you can take half and still be rich and sit on the other half. God bless you. You know what I mean? But I'm saying if you can afford to do that, you're going to want to sit on it. That's just my personal opinion.
I'll tell you this. The Iraqi currency is kind of like the springboard to your wealth system, if that makes sense.
It does. I know what you're saying, and that makes hella sense.
Right? Like, the Vietnamese dong is the subset of that system, right? The Iraqi...
I want to quickly piggyback on what you just said. And Miss April, you'll know, because I know you pay attention to dong. Have you guys been paying attention to the news lately on the dong?
Of course.
Is it me, or every day there's new trade agreements? There's overwhelming companies moving there. Their GDP is exploding. I keep telling people all of that affects the value of the currency. It does. Trust me, as soon as China makes this deal, they can't manipulate the currency because that's part of the agreement. You can't manipulate your currency anymore. And if they can't, that means the dong can't. And what does that mean? That brings it to the true value.
Facts.
The true value.
Facts.
People was right about buying on that crap, and I'm glad people did it.
Facts.
I'm going to pick up some more. I'm not going to lie.
Facts. He's telling you the truth. Think about it. Let me tell y'all this. You know why China really helps out Iraq as far as the trade agreement goes? Do you know why? The only reason why? Because if China revalues their currency and Vietnam revalues their currency, then it makes a reinstatement of a currency totally okay. Especially
China.
China.
Everybody to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah. Now, if China tells the truth, it's like saying, well, we were lying, but now we'll tell the truth. If it gets us access to what they're getting, well, we were lying, but we'll tell the truth. But if we can get what they're getting, we're going to tell the truth, too. So, y'all, the only reason why China has anything to do with Iraq is transparency. Has nothing to do with trade. China's not the linchpin to anything.
It started that way. It did. They wanted to cut everybody out, and they did want to use Iraq as the mecca of the new Silk Road, and they wanted to control who comes in and who doesn't. That's changed. I actually just read an article from about 3 or 4 years ago about that. So that's changed 3 or 4 years ago. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But initially, that's not what it was. It is now.
Yeah.
And that is, you can't just go in there and manipulate the gateway to the Middle East and say it's all yours. That's not going to happen. There's
and you know what? Hold on.
U.S. allies there.
Hold on. I'll give you this. They allied Turkey. They allied Israel.
That's a NATO ally.
Hold on. They allied Israel. They allied Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait. What they did was, all they did was push Iran and Russia out. Syria and Iran can go to hell. And they're going to get Syria. Watch. Syria's not far off from being controlled by U.S. territory. They're not. I don't care what he says. Now,
we don't really need them no more because we swiped a huge portion and rerouted a huge portion of the oil. Don't get me wrong, there's still some left over, but that's why you see nosy ass people like Russia there. Mm-hmm. That's why you see Iran in there. That's why you see ISIS in there. Mm-hmm. They wanted to try to jump on the oil. This also was breaking a huge, they were contained. Russia's contained, and that was their way to get out. Sorry, it got blocked.
Iraq. The WTO is supposed to be in Iraq in November. By the end of November. That's what the website says. I showed that on another video.
Okay. Thank you.
Real quick, I want to throw this out there. Gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies are dropping. If ever there was a time to jump on, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say this. Bitcoin, now is the time. Now is the time. I have a feeling this is coming down, but then it's going to slingshot up. That's just my personal thing. Miss April, if you want to jump in on this, let me know.
I was just telling Mr. B about silver. It dropped 50 cents in a day.
Yes.
Can I say this about precious metals?
I have a huge smile on my face. I'm like, please, God, Lord in heaven.
Can I say
get
this?
That down to $15, please, if not lower. Because I'm in a position almost, thanks to you two, I'm almost in a position to start restocking back where I was.
Well, that's here nor there. Pimpe, you're there because you are there, not me. My wise advice got you where you are, not anything else. Now, I will say this. If I was going to get into the physical market play, you know what I'd buy right now, physically?
Yeah.
Gold.
Yes.
I'd buy gold.
Why? But I'm curious why.
Fractionally.
Tell me why.
And the only reason why it'd be a short-term play for a year, I'd buy as much gold as I can for the next 6 or 8 months because the way gold is going, gold's going to skyrocket probably next year.
Why? But why do you think that? I know why I think that, but I'm curious why you think that.
I don't think because of golden zombies and the stupid gold theory. I'm not going to admit to that. I don't think that at all. Do you know why? It's in my gut right now. I don't have an explanation for it. It's in my gut. And I think gold is. I think gold.
These articles, Mr. B, if these articles are right, and I have a feeling they're more right than wrong.
Mm-hmm.
China lied about the amount of gold they have. They now are holding 20,000 metric tons of gold. They've moved already into. Now, this is just my opinion. They've moved already into full blockchain mode. They are threatening to launch the gold-backed cryptocurrency.
Bullshit.
If they do that, that's
golden zombie. Let me tell you why. The derivative for that currency is their fiat. Their fiat's based in crap. So until they revalue... Now, Pimpe, let me tell you this. Yeah. If they revalue their currency, you're onto something. I'm dead serious.
But listen, this is what I'm saying. What happens if you convert your currency from fiat, same currency, but you turn it into digital?
No. Not even convert it to gold. Take your currency as is and basic about 90 cents, 80 cents, 75 cents, and do the same thing you're talking about right now. I buy in.
Well, it will make the value of the currency go up. That's for sure.
But based the value that their currency is right now, a gold-backed currency is a bunch of worthless tokens.
No, it's going. Oh my God! Everything I'm reading right now says that China has the ability to do this. It's my opinion.
No, it's not. Listen. Pimpe.
It's going to cause anybody holding gold. It's going to cause the value of gold. Forget the currencies.
No, Pimpe. It's called a reason to buy. People like you are far and few between. There's not enough people like you out there to buy that stuff to make it viable. There's more people out there like me that are out there saying, you know what? Your currency's worthless. You got a worthless cryptocurrency. You ain't Bitcoin. So why would I buy you? You have a failing economy. I'm not going to invest in a failing economy unless there's an upswing. It's not based upon that. It's based upon reality. Now, being a nerd and being someone that I'm going to shuffle through all these white papers and guess at something that hopefully happens in 5 years, great. But someone like me who's a shark in the water, I'm looking at that currency and I'm saying to myself, pass.
Forget the currency. Get past the currency.
I'm passing on their digital currency. I'm passing on the Petro One.
What I'm trying to say is this. What that does to gold value is it drives it up. I wasn't talking about the currency.
Pimpe. Carrot bars, China, Zimbabwe, Africa. I don't care who you throw into the game. The gold standard is a myth. I don't want to talk about it. I'm done.
James said there's
Forget the gold standard.
Pepe, hey, I will hang up on you.
But he's talking.
I got a question.
Mr. Brando, what do you think of the article today saying that President Trump is looking for stalling some of the old Ba'ath Party? Old Ba'ath Party?
Yeah, Ba'ath. That's the old Saddam Hussein people. You know what, man? I'll tell you this, and Pepe knows a lot about Ba'ath as well as I do. You don't want to see any of the old Ba'ath people come into play. Those are the worst of the worst. Those are Saddam people. They are the most corrupt. Those are the people that we want to see out of the parliament as a whole.
Yeah, but they did have a super pimp hand on the entire country because people feared them. So if I'm trying to keep a country from getting out of control and keeping them out of the grasp of Iran, I don't know. I think that's a bad move. I think that's a really bad move. I don't believe that.
Now, I will say this about currency, digital currency, real quick. I do believe that there are some currencies out there that one day are going to be so viable because of SWIFT, because of blockchain, like Bitcoin, like XRP, like Litecoin. I do think those things are going to have a major play. And I may not be mentioning them all because I don't know them all like that. I'm not a digital currency person. They're not that they don't have their place, okay? I just think that if you're trying to base your digital currency off of a gold standard, then you don't have enough gold to do it. And if you lied and you're trying to hide how much gold you have, do I think you're going to tell the truth and tell me how much actual gold you have?
No, you're misunderstanding what the gold standard is. Okay?
No, I'm not. No, Pempe, the gold standard... No, Pempe. Actually, I understand it better than most. The gold standard's a lop, and I'm not going for a lop.
No, it's not a lop.
It's a lop, big time. No, it's a lop. You read a non-branch currency, you got to reevaluate. It's a lop. I'm sorry. That's a lop.
No, it's not a lop.
It's a lop. Yeah, it's a lop all day.
No,
Pempe.
Huh?
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to argue with this offline.
It's not a lop.
It's a lop. Anyway, we're going to sign off. Unless there's another question, because I'm tired of talking about lops.
Yeah, Steve-O says squash the gold standard.
Yeah, it's done. It's dead. It's not going back to the gold standard ever.
James says silver. Now we're on silver zombies.
Silver zombies?
If
you guys invented silver zombies, I will embrace them as a hug. Gold zombies must die.
Leave my gold zombies alone, gosh.
Oh, Pimpe, hold on. We got another call real quick. This is Mazel. Hold on. This is my boy. Hang on. He's a good guy.
Call from Reinstatement 305.
Mazel?
Hey.
Hey, bro. I'm going to merge you with Leo, okay? Mazel?
Hold on a second, Mazel.
Hold on. There you are, bro. You okay?
You live?
Yes, yes, thank you, Miss Vivi. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
We're good.
Very good.
Hey, I just want to tell everybody out there that's listening to your show, you know, when you said the other day that you really do have a gang family here, it is so true. The other day, I was feeling so bad. Brando, you know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And you lift me up. You lift me up real good, man. Thank you so much just for listening to me. So thank you. We may be near or we may be far. I don't know. I can't tell the future, but you know, your inspiring words, your energy, you know, it just picks me up, man. Thanks.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he was in a bad spot, man. He reached out to me. We chatted. I told him what I had to tell him. He told me what he had to tell me, and we brothers. So like, I told man, you know what? Walking this earth alone is no good, man. Like, you can't be by yourself your whole life.
That's
And
way
like,
too awesome.
And me and Pimpe, we fight, but that's my brother. Like, that's my dog. Like, I'll go to bat for him. So like, that's real talk. That's my brother. Can the government take your gold? Yes, the government can take your gold bullion. Yes, they can. I know that for a fact.
Well, that was my 2 cents. Thanks for everything and being accessible to the community.
Hey,
God
man.
bless. I hope everyone's okay.
Man, me too, Mazel, man. God
Thanks,
bless you and your
man.
family. We're going to keep praying, okay, man?
Thank you. You guys enjoy the long weekend. If you're going to have a long weekend, so enjoy, okay?
Nah, man. Time to go to work, baby. Hey, Pimpe, we got to hang up with you real quick. I'm going to sign off after I hang up. I'm going to tell everybody some news.
Hey, look, God bless. You know, I think that the silver bullion you wanted, and I'm going to send them to you. I just wanted you to know that.
Thanks, man.
And then Miss April.
All right,
Yeah,
have a
Daisy.
good one, Lee.
Have a good one, brother.
Miss Daisy, I know you can't be. That's me, dog talk. awkwardly.
She's hiding somewhere. She's down there doing some mischief.
Yeah, she ran her somewhere.
All right, man.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, y'all. Just to give you guys a sign off, Monday we're doing a show. There will be no show on Wednesday next week. There will be no show on Thursday next week. On Friday next week, or rant. Next Wednesday and Friday, I'm taking my wife on a date. So we'll be out of touch until the following Monday. So unless something major happens, I won't be going live next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No consultations, no nothing. I'm taking my wife on a special date that she doesn't know about. So, you guys can have a great night. Have an awesome weekend.
You told people you were going to meet with them Thursday.
On Thursday, if you're Patreon, I will meet with you guys. You know where we're at. We'll be in New Orleans. And we'll talk about the place on Patreon later on this week. But you know what? Taking my wife out of town. Y'all have a great night. Have an awesome weekend.
I still like XRP. I still stock up on XRP. I'll admit that. And I buy low.
And God bless every single one of you in this investment. Have an awesome weekend. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, you guys.
All right, y'all.